It's Theresa with this week's angel message. And before we begin, it feels really necessary for us to breathe together. So let's just take a deep breath. So this week, the angels are speaking with us about love. And this is really important for so many reasons. But the first is that the angels say that we highly sensitive people, we the light workers, are so hard on ourselves. We expect to be perfect all of the time. So they're talking to us especially around unconditional love. We expect that we shouldn't feel anger with people, we shouldn't feel disappointment, and that at every point in time, we should just be in a space of unconditional love with people. And what happens then is that we spiritually bypass our actual feelings when we have situations come up. So what the angels want us to do is to honor those feelings. This is part of anchoring more of the divine feminine energy as well. Really allowing your feelings to be seen and felt by yourself. You don't need to necessarily show them to the rest of the world, but in recognizing our own feelings and feeling them, we honor ourselves and we express self-love first. And then from that place, we can allow those feelings to wash through us. When they wash through us, they don't get stuck. They don't get pushed down and denied only to surface later on as something else, either a deeper feeling, a feeling that's morphed into a different feeling, or even some illness. Feelings that aren't felt just get stuffed down into ourselves and can actually manifest as illness. So the angels are asking us to really pay attention to this and express our feelings as a form of self-love. And what they're saying is that when we allow ourselves to feel these things, it becomes easier then to come back to the situation at hand in a more loving way. We can be channels, clearer channels of whatever it is that needs to come through, whatever action needs to take place, and whatever love is coming through the universe. So instead of denying that we're angry or upset with somebody, if we allow ourselves to move away, feel the feelings of being angry and upset, we can then actually come back to them from a more centered place, having allowed all of those things to move through us and allow the love that's underneath all of that hurt to come through. This works with people we don't know also. This works in situations when we are triggered by things. If we honor where we are and we express self-love in that way, then we can come to that place with more of a sense of unconditional love. Unconditional love does not necessarily mean that we will like everything everyone does, that we will like every action taken, or even that we will like every single person. But what it does mean is that underneath all of that, we will love everyone. So love and like are two completely different things. And what we are actually called to do is to love everyone, not necessarily like them. One of the things that's happened for a lot of light workers, and that happens from time to time for all of us, is that we sort of get separated from nature. And when light workers and highly sensitive people commune with nature, it just brings them to a space of heart-centeredness. It allows us to open our hearts almost instantaneously. It's like nature is an electric outlet for us. It plugs us in a way that other things don't. So the angels want each of us this week to really take the time to surround ourselves with nature, however that looks where you are, and whatever it looks like is fine. Even if you just buy a houseplant and sit next to it while you read a book, whatever you can do to commune with nature this week is really necessary, because when we spend time with nature, our hearts can open even more. Now, the angels also showed me what has happened on planet Earth is that for so many of us, we are called to spend more and more hours indoors or on the computer or separated from nature in some way. And they acknowledge that, but they say it's really up to us to make the time to be with nature, even if it's 5 minutes during the day, however that looks for you. They've also showed me how much synthetic nature has changed things for us. So when we think about things like GMOs, or we think about things like artificial grass, or any of that, synthetic nature, including chemtrails that are being spread in the air. We can't even breathe actual air anymore. We need to breathe the particulates that are in the air. So all of these things separate us from nature energetically as well as physically. There are barriers now to us being completely immersed in nature, even at the times we think we are completely immersed in nature. So the angels want us just to be aware of that and to make sure that we are paying attention to these things, that they're not going unseen by us, and that we are counteracting them in the best way possible to get what it is that we need to show up in the way we need to show up right here and right now. The angels also want you to know that you are divinely loved, no matter who you are, no matter what you do, that in every moment you are completely, unconditionally, and divinely loved. It doesn't matter who you are or what self-judgments you have. You are worthy of love. The angels will always, always, always love you completely and unconditionally, as will Mother, Father, God. So when you can acknowledge that space in yourself and accept that as the truth that it is, you can then know that this is true for everyone else as well, and start to allow the angels to bring you to a higher perspective so that you can see these other people from the vantage point of those beings who love them unconditionally as well. That feels really complete from the angels this week. If you would like to get more heart-centered, grounded, and aligned really quickly, check out theresav.com. Right on the homepage, there's a place for you to sign up to receive a free heart-opening meditation. It's completely free. You just fill out your information and it will appear in your inbox within minutes. I invite you all to go check it out, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you, everybody.